and welcome to Glimpses of History as we journey into the timeline of the Indian presence in Trinidad and Tobago over a period of 175 years. In today's show, the remarkable story of 93-year-old Mahadev Mangaru of Barrackpore, who continues to be an energetic cultural activist, reciting the Ramayana and singing the songs of his ancestors who came from India as indentured immigrants assigned to the Bronte estate. The name Barrackpore is well written in the literature of Indian history. The town, near Kolkata in West Bengal, was a military center under British occupation and was the scene of several rebellions during the 19th century, most notably the 1857 mutiny that sent many sepoys fleeing for their lives, some boarding ships to the West Indies. And it's quite possible that Barrackpore in southeast Trinidad may have acquired its name from these Indian infantrymen who were trying to escape the wrath of British imperial retaliation. But the Barrackpore we know is 15,000 kilometers from where Mangal Pandey sparked off the first war for Indian independence. It's a community deep in the jails of rural Trinidad, once called Barrackpore, with a natural spring that is as bountiful today as it was when European colonizers discovered it.
I know this spring here, right? The old parents who we come and meet here, them say this spring was developed by some Spanish people, the old ahead then, right? The old ahead. And they have to use this water to carry it out for all the villagers to use.
No longer in active communal use, but this mother's milk spring is a savior on days when taps run dry. Back in the day, the village supplied oil to the Pointe-à-Pierre refinery and canes to the St. Madeleine sugar factory. Barrackpore is home to international cricketers Darren Ganga and Jason Mohammed.
4 from 4. Oh, he smashed that! He smashed that a long way! Wow! What a way to finish this game!
It gave to the world of aviation Captain Ivan Sahai, who pilots one of Emirates Airlines' largest commercial jetliners.
You see, there's a history behind it because coming from a little village in Trinidad, Barrackpore, it has been my greatest challenge becoming a pilot. Because I didn't come from a very wealthy home, or certainly not a wealthy home at all. And just getting my license was a big challenge because after I left school, even though I got a government job, I had to leave that because it wasn't paying enough, and I never would have been able to become a pilot if I had stayed there. So I had to do different jobs, odd jobs, working in the oil industry in order to get enough money to go and learn to fly. And that was hard work at the time. But at the end of the day, I've achieved what I wanted to do. And my parents, who are now deceased, they were very, very proud of me that I started off in a career that I wanted to do, and I actually got there.
Billy, as he is known to villagers, and his Trinbagonian colleagues began their flying careers with national carriers BWIA and Caribbean Airlines before jetting off to greener pastures in the Arabian Gulf. In significant ways, they've contributed to more than a century of aviation in this archipelagic Caribbean island. But unquestionably, one of the gems of this bucolic village is Mahadev Mangaru, who at 93 is a spirited cultural enthusiast et al.
The song says, "Hey man," the man that mind, listen to our saying. Hey man, karle bichar, bichar means think. Think well what he is doing. Karle bichar. Patta toote dar se, how the leaf does break from the tree branch and go away far away. Just like when the wife and husband, if the wife dead, the husband in trouble. When the husband dead, the wife in trouble. Karle bichar, think that well. He said, Arab kharab ki darb hai. Arab kharab means multi-millionaire. Uday astle raj. Uday means sunrise. Ast means sundown. And when that astle raj, Tulsi ek din marna hai. One day you have to die. Ahe kaune kaj. What use the multi-millionaire come to? Become no use. He said, Parvar kahe sun patta more baat. The tree, this universe is like a tree. And the soul is like the leaf. So when the soul, the tree leaving the soul, the tree is telling him, he said, listen, the rule and regulation of this universe is koi aave, koi jaat. Some will born and some will die. He said, Kala kare so aaj hi kar le. What you have to do tomorrow, try and do it today. Because this time wouldn't come back. Today and any time now, this time when we day here wouldn't come back.
Where did you learn these songs?
Good question. Bina satasanga viveka na hoi. Rama kripa binu sulabha na soi. If you don't have good company, you cannot get good teaching. I keep mostly old people company. I learn these with them. Dina bandhu ati midul subhavu.
He is equally versed in the Ramayana and derives much pleasure in reading and explaining the Hindu scriptures.
It's come like you doing a satsang. You come a leader. Well, everybody start to consider you. And they start to listen to what you say. Well, then they go on. He say, Santa kaheya saniti prabhu, suti purana ya sagao, hoihena bimala bibeka guru san ke durao. If you go into school and you've been far from the teacher, could you learn anything? You won't learn. Because when he tells you something here, they quite over there, when they quite you listen to you can't learn. Guru is the teacher. So you have to be close to the teacher. Who know little bit, you have to be together with them. Then you go learn and you can learn. So I keep the old people company. And I get to learn a little bit.
Like most in rural Trinidad, Mahadev Mangaru had a rough upbringing, having lost both parents at an early age.
That time I didn't have no money. My father was to sell cane, 9 shillings a ton for cane, and mining 9 shillings. And mother died in young days, father died in young days, and he lived with. So we had to fight up ourselves.
But this iconic Brahmpurian will shoulder the challenges of an impoverished young man with adult responsibilities and dedicate his life in the service of his siblings.
And 2 brothers smaller than me and 2 sisters smaller than me. I had to take care of them. Right? And you had to walk. They were people didn't reach that time to have you go in the parlor, you go buy this and that. You had to plant everything. And eat and drink, and then we there take care of them children, mind animal, mind fowl, dog and all kind of things, and make little change to buy goods. And planting around your house, baygan, tomatoes, okra.
Though daunting a task, he would draw from the knowledge of his seniors in the hope of emulating his father.
To keep up on my father's character, he was a Ramayana man, Chautal man, And he said was to jarry children and things. And I learned from himself. And balance where I didn't learn from him, I take that from the book, because I didn't know to read. So I learn, and put it in my head. And put that in my head, now I could assist some of them.
In the course of time, he would learn the power of the mantras, in particular Sanskrit prayers, through which he would become a healing heart with helping hands. I too was a recipient of his potent curing sanskar. It's called the jhari, using sacred Hindu prayers as a healing sanskar for all types of ailment. And though medical science seemed a little apprehensive, it really works. Like when Mr. Mangru was called to the rescue of a little girl who was stung by a scorpion.
They gone in the hospital in Hanoomansingh. Said, take it to San Fernando right now. So them come from San Fernando and they walk come and catch me up. He said, Congo, so thing happen. So when them reach San Fernando, me and I'll reach right there. So now, he said, well, the nurse and them waiting for the patient. So he tell me, I sit down, jhari. And when the doctor and them come and he visit the child, he said, but nothing wrong to the child, get you home. And they come with child, get good. He prayers, the prayers. When you learn prayers, it does work. But Bhatta Bisawasa, you tell them it's the Dharma. If you believe it, it's truth.
Not all species are deadly, but the thick-tailed scorpion that is prevalent in Trinidad and Tobago carries a lethal venom. But Mangaru believes that divine intervention worked in favor of the little girl.
Any child sick, you doubt me. I went to the San Fernando, the child sick. So much a thing they have in the nose and the ears and things. And I carry up, long time they capas. Yeah, I carry them. When I done already, while you carry the child, they take out everything. When the doctor come, he say, what you do? You actually need nothing, and what you do? He said, the man child feeling good. But that's God work, not me, no. That's he.
His insightful knowledge of the Hindu scriptures is fortified through a collection of books, referenced before his kathas, and when he needs to verify religious storytelling of local pundits.
Well, when I go on satsang, and I hear somebody really say they in that book, and I get me a little change, I chip out a little bit and I buy one. Sometimes I borrow one. Some other fella dead, they bring some and give me. So I pick out from them. I take the good one. You know? And what could I keep in my head, I keep. And balance up, I always sit out, I throw it away anywhere, dig a hole and bury it.
A few years short of his 100th birthday, Mahadev Mangaru isn't giving up quite easily. When we got to his home, he was preparing for some kitchen garden chores.
I grew up in this. I had to say, I must say, born in this too. Because when father and mother left you, you had to look for the work, and you had to work. And from there you had to help yourself. So helping myself all the time. I didn't know. I don't know how long I still have to do it yet.
He designed a mini 2-pin sugarcane juicer with assistance from machine operator Baldat Budram of Kunjal, adamant that it must be as manual as possible, with an improvement on his old tree-type extractor.
Well, you know, we want cane juice to drink, so we know how to get it, so I plan to make a mill like this. And this is a local make. And we started thinking I make it up, I get the help with the machine shop help me. help me to make the roller and so on. And then I get the welder to help me cut this iron and fit it up. And I figured that the best thing is to put it in a little stand. So when we put up this little stand, well then we start to put in cane and start to grind. And when we done grind cane, now we make juice. We drink with ice, and we start to learn to make the bheli, you know the bheli, the round bheli, sugar ball. We start to make that. And I try to make sugar, but the sugar come out too fine.
His generosity extends to the village and anyone who wants pure sugarcane juice, but with a few conditions.
Well, you know, everybody get to know, well, where do you go to there? I say, hey, boy, you make a meal here. I said, we want to come to grandkid. So I said, well, come now, man. You know, I said, well, show them what to do, and they grind the cane and they gone. You know, and so he remained back. Well, a couple of years, it break down. So the whole up, I do nothing to it. But then now I catch myself and say, no, let me make it and leave it here now. So in the yard now, them children go grind home to cane. They go plant 2 hill cane. They go have their own cane in the neighbor. Then ask me if you put up the mill. I say yes.
Coming into the world with nothing, but leaving this labor of love for succeeding generations.
When I make this and I bring it here the day before, I bring it in mill, I feel satisfied in myself that so long it was done, and now I get it back to come. Yeah? So I'm glad to bad. And then you coming in the picture, make it more better.
Cheers. Cheers. Cane juice, pure cane juice. From Mahadev Mangaru's mill in Barrackpore.
Sweet and nice.
Though he refrains from speaking about awards and citations, we captured a few as testament of his devotion to religion and culture.
He was an orphan at an early age. He worked
In 2018, Mahadev Mangaru was among several Trinidadian nationals of Indian ancestry to have been honored by the Indian High Commission in Port of Spain, receiving a special handcrafted Khadi Angavastram or shawl, and a personalized message from India's Minister of External Affairs, Srimati Sushma Swaraj.
He loved teaching the glories of Sri Ramchandra Ji.
He was overwhelmed by the gesture, repaying them in the language of his ancestors.
वो लोग को धन भाग ये ऐसे समझ करके और कोई भक्तों के लिए अंग वस्त्र भेज दिया है भगवान उस सब पर रक्षा करे और दिन दिन उस सब के कामना बढ़ते रहे उस सब के जय हो Bless them.
So can you sing us one more song?
घरिया ये काली बदरिया हो रामा गगन घन कर जय घरिया ये काली बदरिया हो रामा गगन घन भर जय घरिया ये काली बदरिया हो रामा गगन घन कर जय घरिया ये काली बदरिया हो रामा गगन घन कर जे गगन घन कर जे गगन घर कर जे जमुना जल बरस गगन घन कर जे गगन घन कर जे जमुना जल बरस गगन घन कर जे गगन घन कर जे जमुना जल बरस गगन घन कर जे गगन घन कर जे जमुना जल भरत काली बजरिया हो राम गगन घन कर जे 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 भरत नयन भुजता छिना हो राम भरत नयन भुजता छिना हो राम भरत भजन भुजता छिना जान सकुन मन हर कहता हो रामा जान हर कहता हो रामा लागे करन विचार हो राम गगन गन गज लागे करन विचार हो राम गगन गन गज आई काई बदरिया हो राम गगन गन गज आई काई बदरिया हो राम गगन गन गज हरि हो गगन गन गज गगन गन गज यमुना जल पर हरि हो जल पर यमुना जल पर आई काई बदरिया हो राम गगन गन जल आई काई बदरिया हो राम गगन गन गज बम बोलो अयोध्यानाथ सियापति रामचंद्र की जय।
What an amazing story about a modest but remarkable man. Mahadev Mangru is not simply the grandson of indentured immigrants. Like them, he possesses an inquisitive mind with a fighting spirit. This glimpse of who he is tells the story of a man who made good the gift of life, using its bounty to the benefit of others. I'm Gideon Hanoomansingh. Thank you for watching.